Hi guys, Camilla here and welcome to the day 6 of 12 Days of Christmas card series 2016, and today I have for you this beautiful double pop-up card featuring Mama Elephant Pix's Happy Holiday stamp set, my favorite Christmas set this year. So I start out by stamping out all my images from the set practically. I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink to stamp the images because I will be using my alcohol markers to color them in. And so now I'm gonna use 3 markers. I'm starting out with a Copic Ciao. This is a YO2. I really love this shade of yellow, and this is my brightest. Then I come in with my 2 Pro markers. First Tulip Yellow, then Mustard for my shading on the bunny. And then I go back with my YO2 Copic Ciao to blend it all out. I just gotta tell you that when I got the stamp set and I stamped out my images, it just popped into my head right away that I need to color these bunnies yellow for some reason. And then I was thinking about it, and I realized that it must be because the Wabbit from Winnie the Pooh was yellow, so that's probably why I kind of connected the color with the rabbit that way. And I really love how it turned out. I love how vibrant the yellow is. You will see it more beautifully on the pictures at the end. And to save some time, and just because I colored all the bunnies the same way, I pre-colored the bunnies off camera, and now I'm going to continue with their outfits and the trees on screen. I colored the outfits with my Pro markers. I kept them very traditional colors, green and red. And now for the Santa's bag, I'm using Copic Ciaos in colors E35, E29, and E25. I'm starting out with E35, which is the brightest. I'm sorry for the long sections of coloring, but I know some of you really like watching it. I know I do when other people are creating those wonderful YouTube card making videos, so I left it out for you. I sped it up a bit just so you can follow up, and it's not very long. I know the video is pretty long as it is, but I just wanted to show you the whole process, and I hope you can appreciate it and you'll like the card. And here are all the images colored in. I really love how they turned out. Now back to constructing the card. So the craft card base that you see here is slightly longer than the standard card size. It's actually 6 inches to 4 1/4. And then the white part is 5 1/2 inches to 4 inches. So now I'm going to cut out all elements for my card. I'm using this W+9 mountain border die to die cut my mountains. And then I'm taking a piece of white smooth cardstock that I'm going to use for my pop-ups, and I score 1 inch on each side, and then I'm going to use a lawn foam border die in the middle to die cut my heels. And I will do the same with another die and another panel for more elements to my pop-up card. And now I have those 2 panels. They will create my hillsides for my little scene. As you can see, I will put one behind another. And I put my snow caps on my mountains. As you can see, I used some dark gray cardstock for my mountains. And I also cut one more hill for my background. And now for the next step, it's very important. You need 4 strips that will connect your pop-ups with your background. So you take the strips and you make score lines, and the middle part should be as broad as the bottom line of your pop-up element, which I will show you in a second. Here you have one of the pop-up elements, and the little strip that goes there, you adhere to the side and you bend it, and the other part goes to the back of your panel or your background. So I'm gonna adhere it using some tape runner. I'm using 2 strips, that seemed to be enough for me. It made the card sturdy enough. And here I realized that my strip was a little too tall, so you would be able to see it from behind the hill, because my hill is pretty low, so I just cut it down. And now I have my 2 pop-up elements. And now I'm gonna add some tumbled glass distress ink to create my sky, and I'm gonna stamp a few snowflakes from a lawn foam stamp set from last year at Toboggan Together. I didn't want the snowflakes to be too vibrant, so I'm using the same ink to stamp them, tumbled glass. And I'm using the tape runner to adhere my mountains and my background hill. And then I decided I needed a few more trees in the background, so I'm just gonna stamp them in using my Memento Tuxedo black ink, and I'll quickly color them in as well. And here are my trees, and now I'm gonna adhere my first pop-up panel. And here it is. I really love how it turned out. I almost felt like some kind of engineer. And now I'm gonna add the second panel, which will make it even cooler. And the best part about it all is that it really isn't very difficult. You can do it yourself without actually any dies. The dies are helpful if you don't have much time because they just make it really easy. But in this case, as you can see, you make a few mistakes. Like in my case here, I realized that my strips were a little too short, so I had to adjust them. But it really is doable. In my defense, this was the first time I made a pop-up card, so I didn't have it all figured out right away. I think you learn while you make it. At least this is how I learn. So the second one I made after that came together really easy because I knew what to look out for. So I hope this video will be very helpful for you and you can create your own pop-up cards because it's really, really fun. I mean, can you imagine creating one of those cards for a kid in your family? I would be so incredibly amazed if my aunt, when I was a kid, made me a card like this. So I hope you can create some of those for your kids in your family and they'll be really, really happy. So as you can see, I finally put together my pop-up panels, and now the best and most fun part, adding all the characters. So I also wanted, of course, that one of the bunnies with wings to fly. So I added one of the strips to the back of him and I made him fly above the mountains. You will see I kind of changed it later on. So now I'm continuing. I put that bunny that was doing a snow angel in front. I'm gonna adhere him using some tape runner. I really love that one. I actually also bent his ears and to give him a little bit more dimension. And then I added the bunny standing kind of slightly above the Christmas tree so that it looks like he's putting the Christmas star on top of the tree. And then I added the second bunny on the right of the Christmas tree because he's holding the lights, so it looks like he's gonna add those later on. I really love creating scenes. It makes me so happy. And here is I'm showing you what I changed about that flying bunny. So basically I took that strip and I folded it 4 times and I made it into a little cube because that way he will be more sturdy, because before it was like a not closed strip, so he was kind of tilted in a weird angle, and now he, just like those 2 other pop-up panels, he'll be folding along with the card nicely. And now I'm gonna add the little bunny Santa with the Christmas presents bag. Then of course I decided I needed one more Christmas tree for a little bit more color and dimension. So I actually adhered it to one of the pop-up panels so it looked more 3D. And then I took my tumbled glass and I added more blue onto the card. It was kind of tricky because I already adhered everything. So if you're recreating the card, just make sure that you add your color before you put the card together. And now for the sentiment, I'm using this beautiful Mama Elephant stamp set retro labels. And I'm gonna stamp the one that says Happy Holidays, may your season sparkle with magic. And I'm gonna use a VersaFine sateen red pigment ink to stamp it on my panel. And here's the card. As you can see, I also added the reindeer bunny and the back between the 2 Christmas trees. I really love this one. It's so funny that he's pretending to be a reindeer. I originally wanted him in front of the Santa, pretending to be a reindeer, but I had to change the placement a little bit because of lack of space. I really wanted to use all of the bunnies. And so now I'm actually adding a little bit of dimension to the Santa's hat and coat by using this awesome product. It's by Tsukineko and it's a Radiant Neon Amplify. It's a water-based pigment ink, and when you heat it up with your heating tool, it kind of fluffs up and gives a beautiful dimension. So I'm gonna use my heat tool now, and you're gonna see how gorgeous it will look like after. And now to finish off my card, I use some tape runner to adhere the whole panel to my craft card base. And that finishes the card for today. I really love how it turned out. I hope you enjoyed the video and liked the card. It was incredibly fun to create, and now I'm totally addicted to pop-up cards. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you again soon with the day 7 of 12 Days of Christmas Card Series 2016. Have a great day and Merry Christmas!